morning. Good morning. All right. So, good morning as I go and hit all the live buttons and join me. Let me know that you're here. All right, then I'm going to pull this up on my phone. Just makes it so much simpler most of the time. All right. Sit it right here. All right. So, hello. It's a beautiful Sunday morning here in Georgia. 57 degrees. It's a little chillier than it has been, but it's going to be dipping down a little bit more at night. So, definitely getting into that fall weather. So, I'm really hoping we'll start seeing even more of the leaves change, and it's always such a beautiful time, even though I know it is fall is when everything's changing so that we'll lose the leaves and things are actually going into dying. But really it's a process of renewing, right? And so I love that aspect of it too, that it is beautiful as it changes into the next season. And I love all seasons, but I will be honest, my favorite is the really warm weather of summer. And normally that's I'm not wanting fall to arrive just because I know it's beautiful, but I know that it's getting cooler. Um, but for whatever reason, I was sharing the other day that I've been kind of looking forward to the cooler temperatures, especially the nighttime where I might be able to have a fire in the fireplace or wear those really soft, snuggly sweaters and sweatpants. And I don't know, I'm just been wanting some of that snuggly stuff. I do not know why. Maybe I need like I shared the other day, maybe I just need a nice warm hug. But I just love, I'm one of those people, like when I go shopping for clothes, I'm going by and I'm feeling things. And when something feels really nice, then I'll look at it because I have this thing, this sensitivity with my touch. And I think some of that comes from being a hairstylist for so many years. My fingertips are more sensitive than they used to be. And so even like regular fabrics that would have used to have felt smooth and soft don't feel that way so much anymore. And even like just a little share, when I'm driving in the car, if I have on jeans or I have on pants that have that kind of texture to it, I don't lay my hand that I'm not using if I'm not putting both hands on the wheel. I know we're supposed to, but I don't always, and probably you don't either if you've been driving a long time. But the hand that I don't have on the wheel, I don't put flat on my palm down on my pants because it aggravates the tips of my fingers, those fabrics. So I'll put the back of my hand down, or I'll close my hand because my tips of my fingers have gotten so sensitive. Crazy, right? But I know it's from being in those chemicals for so much. And then when you're scrubbing people's hair, that's a lot of rubbing texture on your fingers, right? All right, I digress. I'm going to go ahead and grab today's affirmation. And let's see if I can get this up here. And before I start, let me pop over here real quick and see where we're at with everything. All right, beautiful. All right. And remember, as you get here, make sure that you say hello and let me know that you're here. All right. So our affirmation for today is, I live a life of flow and ease, moving gracefully through each moment with trust and a light heart. And yesterday, one of the things that I talked a little bit about was being open to possibilities. And we talk a lot about the magic in life if we're just open to it, right? And not only do we want to be open, but we want to be in this feeling space of things are moving easily, right? And that doesn't mean that if you've got big, audacious, bodacious, I guess bodacious goals, that you're just sitting in the living room and meditating and waiting for things to fall from the sky. No, it doesn't mean that. It means that you follow things like you get into the spaces like where you get more intuition. So whether that means you're outside, whether that means you go to an event, you do something that helps you, it could be meditation that helps you get into that inspirational flow place. And then you let that inspiration lead you to an action, right? And so it's really important to be open to what you want and knowing what you want. Remember, we have to know what we want. But when you're doing all of that, and then you take out the angst that a lot of times we have, and I'm speaking from experience, a lot of times we have angst because things are not moving fast enough, or did somebody like that? What did I look stupid? Did I, right? And so we have all these judgments, and then there's this pressure to perform. And if you listen to certain people, it's like if you take a break, you're doing something wrong. And I don't want to have, for me, I don't want a business that I have to feel like I'm always on. I'm always having to do something. Now, if I'm inspired to do something and I feel like I'm doing something all the time, but I'm so inspired to do it that it's no big deal, that's different. If you're wanting to progress in your business and you're constantly fighting your natural tendency to want to sit and relax, then maybe it's time to just take a few moments and sit and relax, because inspiration doesn't come from the sweat of our brow. And remember, if hard work was what made you a millionaire, every ditch digger out there would be a millionaire, because that's some hard ass work, right? And so it's not physical work. It's not how many hours you sit behind the keyboard. It's not how many hours you're toiling in. And we've kind of got into this place sometimes where we feel like if we're not constantly in action, that then we're not doing anything. But did you know that taking time to relax and meditate, to get outside in nature, to ground, to commune with others, taking time to do all of those things actually help you to move faster, better, right? It gives your life a flow and an ease. And who couldn't fare better with a flow and ease? What if every day when you got up, you just relaxed and you said, okay, what is it, the first thing that I need to do today? What is the first thing that's calling to me? And you went and did that. And you relaxed into it. It wouldn't feel like work, even though you are working, you're doing things, right? And because have you ever had one of those times where you made all kinds of progress in whatever it is that you're working on, but it feels like time stopped or slowed down because you got so much done in such a short amount of time, and you weren't even aware of the time passing, right? That's an ease and flow, right? So ease and flow doesn't mean that you're not doing things. It means you're doing things in an inspired way. You're doing things because that's what feels good. It feels like the next step. It feels like a breath of fresh air. It feels like excitement to do, right? Does that make sense? because we want to have an ease and a flow to life, because that's when it feels glorious. That's when it feels like you don't have to have somebody say, okay, you've got a week off right now. You can go do whatever you want to. And then that's the time you live for. There are people that live all year long just to get that vacation. And that just doesn't seem right. Let's live every day as if it's a beautiful place to be. That's an ease and a flow, right? Just moving gracefully through each moment with trust and a light heart, knowing that the inspiration is coming, that everything is there within our reach. Everything is there right around us. We talked about this yesterday, right? That there's 50 billion bits of information that comes at us per second that we cannot fathom in our brains, right? In our consciousness. And 2,000 bits per second is what we can actually comprehend, what we can see. And so those bits come from whatever our focus is, that's what we're going to see. So we're focused on hard work, things are going to be hard. If we're focused on ease and flow, it's just going to feel like, oh, I just did that and that turned out great. Oh, I think I want to do this. Oh, and it's just like you're coming at things where the inspiration within you just brings more things into your vision that will take you wherever it is that you want to go. Right? So I, for one, I love this affirmation, because one of the things that happens to me sometimes, not always, but sometimes, and it used to happen to me a lot in the past, is that I would get so involved in what I had to do that I would just constrict myself, and I would do the things, but I was in misery when I was doing them. And so they didn't really pan out the way that I had wanted, right? Because I was not coming at it with an open heart. I was not coming at it with inspiration. And so we can take everything that we want to do in our business, in our life, in our relationships, our spiritual life, and all of those things. We can actually look at it and, how can I do this with an ease and flow and live an inspired life? You get so much more accomplished, and the things that you do feel so uplifting. And like I said, when you're doing things in that manner, time passes differently. You know, there's times that I've sat down to do something with my business or whatever, and it's like I look at the clock. Oh my gosh, I've been doing this what it feels like forever, and it's been no time, right? But then there's other times that I'll be doing something and I'll look at the clock and it's like, wow, I cannot believe that much time has passed and I've just been enjoying the hell out of it. When you can just enjoy the hell out of it, that's the feeling that you want to have. I'm going to go ahead and grab the journal prompt, and it's a little long, so let me see if I need to take some words out here. Let's see if I can get it to all show up together. Well, it only misses a couple of words. I'll fill you in. All right, so today's journal prompt. Imagine life as a smooth, joyful river. Now just kind of envision that. Just if you're not driving, just close your eyes for a moment and just imagine that you're standing at this beautiful river and it is flowing just perfectly. It's just a slow, smooth. It's not one of those fast rushing rivers. It's a joyful, smooth, one of those that you could put your little raft in and you could just sit there, not do anything, and it would just carry you along smoothly. Right? So just imagine that there you are. You're either on one of those little inner tubes and your legs are dangling, or you're in a little raft It's so smooth and easy, and it's carrying you exactly where you need to go. So you have this clear vision in your mind of who you want to be, how you want your life to look, and you've got a real clear understanding of that. And then you're in this raft and it's going right there, and you know it, and you're just trusting that it's going to show up exactly where you need to be next, right? And as you're doing that, I want you to imagine how that feels to just be in that little lazy river. And there's times that it goes a little faster than others, but it all feels comfortable, calm, joyful, expansive, right? How does that feel? And then as you come out of that and you realize you're right where you want to be, right? Now, list all the fun ways that you can just kick back, go with the flow, and let things come to you with ease today. And, I would love to hear if you have some thoughts on that. List all the fun ways you can kick back, go with the flow, and let things come to you with ease today. And so one of the things is a really cool experiment that you can do. And I've done this before and I'm always amazed with it. And so I may do this today. I'm not even sure. I've got a bunch of appointments today and some people that I'm meeting with. I've got a hypnosis session later that I'm doing. And then I've got someone I'm speaking to that's wanting to get hypnosis. So I have things on my calendar, right? But I think once I'm finished with that, then I'll go and do this. And so what I like to do every now and then, and if you're open to it, just give it a shot today. Give it a try. But it is to get into silence, get into this meditative state. Now, I don't mean you have to sit there and meditate. I'm just saying, just get in touch with your intuition, right? And just spend a few moments and just say, okay, what can I do today? Where can I go? Who do I need to see? What needs to transpire for my greatest good? Good morning, Wendy. And as you do that, then that's when you get in the car without any agenda. You don't really know where you're going. You don't have a place to go, but you're going to let your intuition guide you. So you're going to get in the car and you're just going to go for a ride. And if your intuition says, take a left here, take a left. If it says, stop at the store, stop at the store. If it says, just keep driving, or maybe it says, go back home, make a phone call. I don't know. But the thing is, you're going to let your intuition just lead you on a free and flowing path today. So, are you open to that? Let me take a sip of my coffee. I was almost late getting on here because I had to get me a cup of coffee really quick. All right. So I'm going to go back to the affirmation. I live a life of flow and ease, moving gracefully through each moment with trust and a light heart. So when you get into your car today, or you do whatever it is that you're going to do today, that you're letting intuition guide you, do it with trust and a light heart, knowing that there's no agenda. It doesn't matter if you end up not talking to a soul, if you end up only seeing beauty around you. I did this, and this has been a while back, and I've shared this one with you before, but I'll share it again. Yes, Wendy, that I decided to do this one day, not too long ago. And so I got in the car. I just took a drive, and then my intuition said, take a right here. Now, this was a road. I've lived here for a couple of years, but this is a road I'd never been down. and it had some of the most exquisite homes that I'd never seen. Beautiful, beautiful landscaping. I mean, the flowers were gorgeous. It was just exquisite, right? And I thought, wow, and I've never been down this road because I didn't even know where it led. But I usually, when I first moved here, especially, I used the GPS for every place I wanted to go. And I still do it sometimes just to avoid traffic, right? But that also means that I don't take these off the beaten path roads, right? And so I took this road and it was like, wow, who knew that this was existed right here, that close to my house? They were gorgeous. I loved them. And so that was part of it. And then I got to the end of that road and which way do I want to go? For whatever reason, I took a left and then I took a right and then I took a left. And then I'm in front of this shopping center, and I thought, well, I'm just going to go into the shopping center. Maybe I need to go into the to the store. So I went into the Publix grocery store, and I thought, well, I'll just go to the bathroom. There's some reason I'm here. Maybe I'll buy a couple things. So that's what I did. I ended up going to the bathroom. Then I went and bought a couple of things. And when I went to the register, I thought, this person looks very familiar. And she said, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in forever. And I'm trying to place her and everything because she looks familiar, but I'm not sure. She said, you may not remember me, but you used to come to the Publix over where I worked. And she's talking about where I used to have a salon. And I would go in there just about every day to buy me something for lunch or do something, right? And she said, I've been over here for a couple of years. And she said, I miss seeing you because you were always so sweet and so nice. And she said, how are you doing? How's your daughter doing? She's asking all these questions. And I'm thinking, wow, you know, who would have thought my being redirected somewhere, I would reconnect with this person, right? And it just made me feel amazing. And I had a really great conversation with her, which to her felt good, right? So it was beautiful, but it would not have happened if I had gotten in the car and just went to the old Publix, the one that I go to all the time now, right? Because I had never been to this one because it's not close to my home. It's in the other direction of where I usually go. But I let the intuition guide me that day. And so it was beautiful. Not only did I see all that wonderful landscaping and those gorgeous houses, but I reconnected with this person. And since then, I've been back a couple of times just to say hello. So I'll go over to that Publix every now and then. Not often because it's off the beaten path for me. The thing is that you don't know what's going to transpire, who you're going to talk to. And it might be just like that, where it's just somebody that I've known at another store and we had a conversation. But it felt good to me. And, and I left her with, oh, it was so good to see you and have a good day. And right. So it doesn't have to be this bomb of amazing. It just needs to be intuition led, right? And it's just, when you're doing that, you're exercising that muscle that allows you to see what your intuition is wanting you to do. And when you can live and be guided by your guide voice, your intuition, your subconscious mind, then there's an ease and a flow that just allows the amazing things come to you. Not only does it allow, but you have to remember, because we've talked about this so many times, about being open. You got to be open that things don't always look like what you expect. Right. And remember, we've talked about this before too, that sometimes when you've got aspirations in your life and you're doing all these things, sometimes something pops up that you think, I've been working so hard and I've been doing all the right things. And why did this happen? But sometimes opportunities show up as adversity. And so I've been in car accidents before that I ended up meeting someone that was amazing. Right. And so there are so many ways that we're guided And it can be ease and flow if we allow it, no matter what shows up, right? And in some instances, that's kind of hard because something feels really, really tough. But if you can breathe into it and say to yourself, I live a life of flow and ease, moving gracefully through each moment with trust and a light heart. Even if something has shown up that has been what you've perceived as an obstacle, it allows you to start looking at it in a different way. And so, it's like the thing, who is it that says it? Is it Ford? I don't know who it is that says whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're always right. Everything is for us. Yes, Robin, yes. And so if you're looking at things about how hard they are, they're going to be hard and all the hard things are going to keep coming. But if you're going through life with a flow and ease, with trust and a light heart, even the things that others see as hard, you might see as, this is helping me to discern what I want and what I don't want. This is helping me. Like I just shared the other day, excuse me, got a little allergy stuff going on. I just shared the other day that I had a disappointing conversation with someone about a TED Talk. And so if you guys saw that and all, I apologize for the crying because I was quite disappointed, right? But checking in from church. Good to see you, Wendy. But when all of that happened and she said, that's not a good TED Talk. I'm sorry. Oh, was I crushed? Hell yeah. Did I cry? Hell yeah. Did I cry when I talked to you about it? Hell yeah, right? But then I knew even when I was crying that there was something good that was going to come from it, right? Well, the good that came from it was that she helped me to see that maybe what I wanted to talk about on regular stages was different from what I wanted to talk about on a TED Talk. And that maybe it's not the right time. Maybe I'm not going to do it for another year. I have no idea. But it was like, I've just started looking at, okay, if this is easy, then it's right. But if there's a roadblock there that says, not the right talk, then it's time to just step back a bit and say, okay, I'm going to drop back into the ease and the flow. And I'm going to trust that when it's the right time, it's the right time. And that's when it'll happen, right? But in the meantime, I'm not going to just not ever think about it again. What I'm going to be doing, and which I have been doing, is, what do I already have in my life or have had in my life that would be a good TED Talk? Something that I would want to share with people that maybe might help someone. And so I'm looking at things a little bit different. So I invite you, no matter what's going on, you can see the lesson in it. You don't always see it immediately. Like I said, I cried, and I cried when I told you guys about it, right? However, it was a good growth process. Another thing to say, okay, you want some ease and flow, then go over here. That's not the path right now. So if I was still pursuing that, it would have been really hard. I would have had a hard time figuring out my speech. I would have had a hard time remembering it. I would have had a hard time doing the whole thing, right? It would have been hard. And I love to live a life of flow and ease, moving gracefully through each moment with trust and a light heart. So if I choose that, then that doesn't matter, right? Does that make sense to you guys? And so with the affirmation, remember you put it on your sticky note, your index card, the screensaver on your phone, put it somewhere that you see it, right? And let me pop over here and see. Okay, I'm just checking to make sure what's going on in the different places. And then let's get back to our journal prompt. And there's a couple of words left off on this because it wouldn't fit them in and I didn't want to take them away. So I will share it in the description after I get off here. And then that way it'll be there for you. But makes sense. Thank you, Wendy. Imagine life. Just imagine life as a smooth, joyful river carrying you exactly where you need to go. You're on your little YouTube, you're in your raft, you're in your canoe, whatever fills the place for you. And you're just joyfully, you know what you want, you know what you don't want, and you're just going down the lazy river. And everything feels timeless and smooth. How amazing does that feel, right? And then list all the fun ways you can kick back and go with the flow and let things come to you with ease today. And that's why I was talking about the intuition thing, letting intuition guide you today. So Wendy, when you leave church, so I'm imagining you're in person at church. Of course, I don't know. And so everybody else that's watching as well, let's see, Wendy and Robin. Today, if you can get in your car or take a walk, I don't know where you live, but maybe there's a bus route or a train. Oh, you're online. Okay. Well, then after church, either go for a walk or get in your car and just go for a Sunday drive, right? Today's Sunday. How many times have you been out somewhere and somebody's driving really slow and it's aggravating? You say, oh, it's another Sunday driver. I don't know. That may not be you, but around here in the South, that's what we say a lot. If anybody's driving way too slow, it's a Sunday driver. They're sightseeing. Anyway, so just imagine that you go out and you drive. I love to be in nature on the weekends. Yes, Robin, yes. So just imagine and get somewhere, whether you're out in nature, whether you're in your car, you're going for a walk, you're doing something, right? And you're just letting yourself be led by God, by the universe, by your intuition, by your subconscious. You're being led. You're just letting it be an ease and flow. No agenda, no nothing, no expectations. You're just being led. And just see what shows up. What amazing things will show up. And it may just be that you get grounded in a place and you feel glorious. What's the harm in that, right? But spend some time today just allowing yourself to live life as a smooth, joyful river. You game? I know I am. So like I said, I've got a couple of appointments that I've got scheduled for today. And after those, I'm going to get in the car and I'm going to go on a little adventure, a joyful river. Just letting it lead and guide me. Thank you for showing up daily. Aw, thank you, Robin. Thank you. So remember, one of the things that I suggest all the time is to have a notebook or a journal that you use for our daily affirmation and journal prompts. And then put the date, put the affirmation in the journal prompt, because I create those to be support each other, right? And then write it all out, and then take some time to just be silent and get in touch with your inner guidance. And then list all the fun ways you can kick back, go with the flow, and let things come to you with ease today. And start with, you can go on this intuition-led excursion, right? And just see what shows up. No expectations, no agenda. Just a lazy Sunday of adventure. And you will be surprised at what does show up. And I would take a little journal with you or a notebook with you. And if you see something absolutely amazing, pull off to the side, write it down, or do like I do sometimes when I'm in the car or if I'm on a walk, and I'll use my voice notes to take a note of what I've seen or what the ideas that come to me. Because today, as you're doing this, if you let your intuition guide you today while you're doing all of this, I know for a fact that if you're open to all the possibilities, there are going to be some little ideas of actions to take that are going to show up for you. Make sure that you make a note of it, whether you write it down or whether you put it in a voice note, but make sure that you take ownership of it. And then after you get back home, then I want you to look at that, add it into this little note that you've written about this affirmation and journal prompt. And then from there, that's the inspiration that will feel like it's ease and flow the whole time that you're doing it. And if it doesn't, then it's not the right thing. But just let your intuition guide you today. Let your body guide you today. Your emotions guide you today as what is the right thing for you to do in the moment so that it's easy. And the more ease and flow that you can create and allow into your life, mwah, delicious. I mean, life can be so amazing if you let it. Most of the time, we're actually struggling against it because we think we've got to do things in a certain way in order for us to do and be who we want to be. But the possibilities are just like, whew, there's so much that we don't even see. Remember, we only are privy to 2,000 bits of information per second when there's 50 billion bits of information happening all the time. And so we've got to reevaluate where we're coming from and what we're looking for so that the things that start coming into our 2,000 bits are the things that we want. And, and I've given you example many times before about when you've got two people in a car and they're going down the road. Now they could be the driver and the passenger or two passengers. It doesn't really matter because whatever is going to be the same is that there'll be people that will say, and I've had this happen, say, oh my gosh, did you see that homeless person on the side of the road that was having all these problems and everything? No, didn't see it. But I did see that gorgeous tree over there with all the beautiful leaves. And so it's like, in that car with this person, it seemed like the entire time we were going, they were constantly seeing things that were not so good. They saw every house that looked like it needed repair. They saw every tree that had fallen. They saw every a mailbox that didn't look right. Everything they saw was something that made them feel like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that. And then I, on the other hand, was sitting over there and I was noticing the clouds in the sky. I was noticing the colors of the leaves, and I noticed this gorgeous car that went past me. And I mean, there's some really cool looking cars out there these days. Some of them I think, wow, that so looks so futuristic. I just am shocked, you know. But the thing is that whatever where we're coming from, that's what we're going to see. And so you get to choose your 2000 bits, right? Do you want to see the beauty in life and the opportunities around you and the things that are right here? Or do you want to see all the things that you hate, all the things that make you feel disgusted, the things that make you feel sad and bad? And that doesn't mean you're only walking around with rose-colored glasses. Of course, what's the problem with that, right? The thing is it's not meaning that you're not aware of things that are happening in the world. It just means that you're not letting it drag you down. And the way I look at things, and now you have to do you, okay? But the way I look at it is like watching the news and stuff. If it's not something that I can effectively change and it's not something that affects me, then I don't need to know, right? And if it affects people that I love and I can help, beautiful. If it affects other people and there is some way that I can offer something up, whether it's money or it's prayer or if it's visualization, whatever it is, if I can do that, then great, I'll do that. But to constantly be bombarded with things that are horrific, that drag you down when it doesn't benefit you in the least, by knowing it doesn't benefit anybody else either. So that's right, Wendy, perspective. And so we can either see the beauty that comes from something that was a catastrophe that happened. So no matter what, I mean, recently we've had all the hurricanes, right? And there's been a lot of devastation because of it. And it is prevalent seeing what's going on, right? And so what I do for that, because I can't physically go and do anything to change it, is that's when I will go into meditation and I'll send love and light and I'll say prayers and I'll do all those things. That's what I can do to help, right? But by constantly looking at all the horrific pictures that people are sharing and stuff, does that help me and help those people? No, it doesn't. So I know it's there. I do what I can as far as sending out everything. You know, I believe we prayed Milton's power to be less devastating. Yes, we did. Yeah. And so just think about it. If we had been, all of us had been focusing on just how horrible it was going to be and all that stuff, it would have been disastrous. But instead, a lot of people, and oh my gosh, it's amazing that they did, were focusing on praying about it being diverted or it being smaller or it being, right? And it made things different. And for those that don't believe that happens or that we have that much control, there are Tibetan monks that will pray and meditate over certain cities that are having terrible, terrible crime. And just in the time that they're praying and everything, or they're meditating, the crime goes down. Because collectively, if we're doing these things, it makes a difference. So sitting immersed in the catastrophe and just constantly feeling that doesn't help a soul, doesn't help you, and it doesn't help the people that are devastated either. And so one of the things I shared the other day when we were, remember when we were doing the moment of silence and we were sending love and light and all to the people that had been affected by the hurricane. The thing is that I feel like when we're doing that, the people are devastation all around them, but they may look up for a moment and have this bright light of beauty somewhere in the sky, or maybe they notice something that makes them feel a little bit lighter. And who doesn't need that? If you're going through something really bad, having something to lift the load a little bit, it's beautiful. You've got to have that. You can't stay immersed in that tragedy, right? And I know I'm getting way off track on this. So let me get back on track. I live a life of flow and ease, moving gracefully through each moment with trust and a light heart. With trust and a light heart, flow and ease. And then imagine life as a smooth, joyful river carrying you exactly where you need to go. How amazing does that feel? List all the fun ways you can kick back, go with the flow, let things come to you with ease. It works. Praying works. Amazing. Yes, it does. And it's Sunday. Yes. All right. So Wendy, you are usually the one that gives me such an amazing closing. So what do you got for me today? If you can share that. And so for those that are watching that after the fact, please put in #replay. Let me know that you were here. And, a lot of times people don't do that, and that's okay. But it really makes me feel good to realize that people have come and watched the replay. And if you don't want to put #replay, make a comment, something that lets me know that you were here, because it just really helps me to realize that I am doing the right thing by being here every single day with you guys. Let's see, what does that say? We lost one of our pastors today. She's moving home to Oregon. She preached that we are all connected by love. Yes, we are. We are. Have a joyful, flowing day. Oh, Robin, thank you. I'm grateful for you too. All right. So as Wendy so eloquently said, have a joyful, flowing day. Oh, but here I am just about to forget to tell you the thing. Make sure you go into the events section and sign up if you haven't already. That tomorrow's Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern. Dr. Nancy will be live in the group. She's an energy healer. She is amazing, and you're going to get so much from actually having a conversation with her. I'm going to be talking to her. I'm actually working with her right now. She's helping me with some stuff, and we'll talk about that later, but just make sure that you sign up to be there, because one of the things is I have amazing people that pop in and will share with the group, and I want to make sure that they feel the love from us and the people in the group, so that more people will be open to coming in and having conversations with us and sharing their gifts with you. So I'm always on the peruse for that. And I've got a couple people that I'm about to be talking to about maybe them sharing into the group. And so I'm always on the lookout for someone who can add some value to what we have going on here, because you guys are my family. You are precious to me. And I always want to make sure that I am caring for you like I would my children, my parents, my family, right? And so go in and sign up for that. It will be tomorrow at 4 p.m. I keep looking at my calendar because for whatever reason, I can't remember what time it was. 4 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. And then there's another event that's coming up, and that is on Tuesday, the 29th at 7 p.m. Eastern. Ruthie will be here sharing with us about holistic health. And who doesn't need that, right? So make sure you go and you sign up to be part of that one too, because it's going to be wonderful. You're going to be blown away with all the information that you're going to get. So I will be I put a little poll in the group about a book club. I'm going to start a book club, and for all of us. And then also I put in a little question about what is that you're looking to do in your life in this group. What do you need? And so definitely go in and just answer that for me, so that, because right now I'm looking at creating like a little beta program or something, and I want to know what you are needing and what we want to focus on, because my affirmations and my journal prompts are focused on things that I know I need, and I'm assuming, and you know what they say about assuming, but I'm assuming anyway, that it's something that works for you as well. And so it helps me to see what you're looking at and what works for you. So, all right, all that to say, have a joyful, flowing day, and I will see you tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. Mwah.